Chapter 1 Go to Hong Kong Island. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1 Going to Hong Kong Island. Spring 1947. A huge cruise ship is driving on the wide sea, and the huge chimney emits thick smoke, and occasionally a loud noise is deafening. This ship belongs to Swire Pacific Cruises. From Shanghai to Hong Kong Island is only a short voyage. It can also reach the Philippines, Singapore, Europe and other places. It is a true international liner. From Shanghai to Hong Kong Island, this liner takes about 3 days to sail, which makes Wu Guanyao start to miss the plane. Wu Guanyao, dressed in a suit, is tall and straight, standing at the railing on the deck of the cruise ship. The sea breeze is blowing on the firm and handsome face, looking at the endless sea, with many thoughts. A dream come true. As a greasy young and middle-aged in the 21st century, he has read a lot of online novels, and he really thought about going through the circumstances of this kind of thing. It's just that something really happened, and it took a lot of time to get used to it. That I in the 21st century, I am a middle-aged person, with a happy family, regrets always, successful careers, just so, and a wide range of social interactions, all friends with wine and meat. How about it? Because of the epidemic situation, the industry environment is not good, so Wu Guanyao decided to close his small mold workshop and take his family to climb Mount Tai to relax. Women are always troublesome, and always dislike Wu Guanyao and will not take pictures and wait for Yun along the way. Wu Guanyao was cruel and planned to find a tricky angle to take a beautiful photo of this yellow-faced woman who was about to be middle-aged. The words forbidden to climb were ignored by Wu Guanyao. He climbed over the guardrail and stepped on the edge of the cliff. Wu Guanyao is very satisfied with his work and is planning to ask his wife for credit. I felt a little dizzy and dazzling when I knew I was together, and then fell into the cliff as soon as I retreated. I don't know who will be cheaper in the future. Will the son change his surname? This is Wu Guanyao /best last thought. Wu Guanyao did not really die, but his soul traveled into the body of a 16-year-old young man in the Republic of China. The original owner of was also surnamed Wu, who belonged to the second generation of the Republic of China official who caused trouble and ran away from his hometown of Zhejiang to Shanghai, intending to seek refuge in his uncle, a wealthy businessman. I don't know, because I don't look at the road when I walk. I got caught in a stone on the road in the suburbs of Shanghai. Then, Wu Guanyao accepted the body and part of the memory smoothly. When he arrived at his uncle /s house in Shanghai, Wu Guanyao adjusted to the new environment while considering his future survival. A week later, Wu Guanyao borrowed a sum of money from his uncle in the name of his parents, intending to run to Hong Kong Island. As for the reason. Naturally, my family is not well formed, but I don't want to be remodeled, so I can only continue to run away. Hong Kong Island, Wu Guanyao is no stranger. It can be said that he has a very thorough understanding. Because I am also a businessman, I admire the wealthy Hong Kong people. So I often check information, and imagine that one day I can do a career like them and return to the motherland. Master, go in and rest for a while. The sea breeze is so big. If you have something wrong, how can I explain it to the master and madam? Wu Guanyao turned around, looked at his thin little boy, and said, Fanga, it may be difficult for us to return to the mainland when we go, so what else to talk about? Brother Fong said. If you don /t return, you won /t return. I grew up with the young master. If the young master goes there, I will go there. Wu Guanyao smiled without talking. The old problems of the old society are gone. In the beginning, he was unwilling to pay Brother Fong to leave. Said that he had no father and no mother, and he became a savage like no home without a master. The two then walked into the cabin and returned to their cabin. In order to ensure the safety of their pocket money, the two chose to squeeze in a sleeping cabin, and Fong Gear could only hit the floor at night. The original owner caused a catastrophe. At the suggestion of his mother, he took advantage of his father's business trip, fled Zhejiang, and went to Shanghai to seek refuge with his uncle. The mother was naturally reluctant to bear the hardships of her son outside, and gave a lot of her own gold and silver treasures. In addition, Wu Guanyao/S uncle/S house in Shanghai borrowed a little gold and silver hard currency, so it was considered small and wealthy. According to Wu Guanyao/S visit to Shanghai Ocean Bank to inquire about the situation, this gold and silver treasure is about 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. At this time, the monthly salary of a clerk or translator on Hong Kong Island is about 50 Hong Kong dollars. It can be imagined what a fortune is 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. For this reason, after getting on the liner, Wu Guanyao divided the gold and silver treasures into two parts, and he and Fong Gu/her carried one part each with them to disperse the danger. Master, it/s time to go to eat, it/s almost dark. Brother Fong is a bit strange. Since the young master was thrown into a coma, he always likes to be alone in a daze. Let/s go, be alert at all times. These money is the key to one/s own life, and there is no room for loss, so Wu Guanyao/s attention has been very concentrated on the boat. When I came to the restaurant, there were already many people. The two had a little meal and found a corner to eat. Wu Guanyao was eating while looking at the people in the restaurant. The entire restaurant is basically an Asian face. Obviously, this liner has a class division, and the foreigners are probably in the upper deck. If you look closely, you will find that most of the people in the restaurant are Chinese who work for foreign-funded firms or businessmen. After the outbreak of the Great War, wealthy businessmen with foresight began to flee the mainland. Of course, the peak period will begin next year. Wu Guanyao couldn't help but think of his parents in this life, they should be able to retreat to Baodao. After all, his father was also an important official of the provincial government, and he was an important figure in the Republic of China. Although there is not much emotion, Wu Guanyao still plans to send someone back to Zhejiang to persuade him after he stabilizes his foothold in Xiangjiang later. Master, so many people drag their families to Hong Kong Island. Will Hong Kong Island be very prosperous? How does it compare to Shanghai? Brother Fong asked curiously, but he had obviously forgotten, and his master had never been there. There should be no prosperous Shanghai now, and it should be more prosperous in the future. After all, a stable environment is very important. Besides, Hong Kong is a powerful and established country, and the opportunities will be even greater. As soon as Wu Guanyao finished speaking, a voice came from behind. Little brother is also optimistic about Hong Kong Island. Wu Guanyao hadn't turned around, the visitor had already arrived in front of Wu Guanyao. He was a 30-year-old man with a greasy back and a suit. I'm sorry, I overheard the conversation between the two. The visitor said politely. Are you? Wu Guanyao said. Can we chat together? Can I sit here? This person seemed to be very interested in Wu Guanyao, with a hopeful expression on his face. Wu Guanyao feels a little nervous, he won't meet politicians anymore, he doesn't want to be involved in those things. Of course, please sit down. Wu Guanyao said politely, not wanting to grudge with others. After sitting down, Wu Guanyao planned to take the initiative and said, My name is Wu Guanyao. I will go to Hong Kong Island to do some business. Who is this gentleman? The visitor was obviously taken aback, thinking that he had met a fledgling student. Unexpectedly, this has no student youthfulness, but instead gives people a feeling of full social experience. My name is Zhao Shi and I work at Jardine International Company, Limited on Hong Kong Island. This time I will return to Shanghai to visit my family. After the conversation between the two, Wu Guanyao firmly grasped the initiative, and that everything involved politics, indicating that he had never cared about it, and he was just planning to go to Hong Kong Island to seek a life. Even so, Zhao Shi couldn't help being surprised secretly. This was obviously only 17 or 18 years old, but he was very old-fashioned in conversation and always had a confident expression on his face. This made Zhao Shi look up to Wu Guanyao. Before leaving, he left an address on Hong Kong Island and asked Wu Guanyao to meet him for a meal. For 3 days, Wu Guanyao kept a low profile, only occasionally showing up in the restaurant, and the rest in the room. Wu Guanyao is only 16 years old, but he wears a mature suit, so someone with a heart will always think that he is an advanced student or an international student. Occasionally, someone approached him and talked about topics that he dared not dare to. They were all rejected by Wu Guanyao because he was illiterate and did not understand. Wearing a mature suit is because Wu Guanyao intends to do business on Hong Kong Island, so that he can appear to be older. Unexpectedly, it caused a little trouble, but fortunately, the foreigners on the liner were patrolled all the time, so they didn't worry about safety. Meeting Zhao Shi again, the two continued to talk about business and international matters. Zhao Shi was still quite shocked in his heart. This boy who looked only 17 or 18 years old, actually knew so many things. End of this chapter. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.